From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
Fourth stimulus check update of 2021 goes into the weekend with a bang and a letter to the President of the United States from the House members who would write the multiple stimulus checks, telling the President of the United States they're putting it in. OMG. Game on. Fourth stimulus check. In this recording, we're going to go over the breaking news about the fourth stimulus check, the multiple stimulus checks, which now in another letter says they're putting it in there, and they are the House members who have the subcommittee to put it into the multiple stimulus checks. We're going to go over how much you're going to get and what you're going to get, and what the president's counteroffer minutes ago suggests we're finishing with reconciliation. Wow, there's breaking news hitting left and right in the last 20 minutes, and this is why this is a special live recording of Afternoons LALATE. Then we go to the fifth stimulus and the big money that'll land in the fall and September that'll be raised up with an inflationary rate, and there's no indication that inflationary rate may be very high. That'll lift your benefits lifetime through the sky. In the middle of this recording, we go over the big money that'll land in your bank account today and tomorrow. It's all really incredible great news with letter after letter calling for the vote and saying they're putting in the multiple stimulus checks. It's a big day. It's a big afternoon. And that's why this is a special live broadcast of the breaking news on your fourth stimulus check right now on Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Afternoons LA with a day in which you have never seen so much great news about your fourth stimulus check of 2021 until today. In this recording, we're going to go over the monthly stimulus check, how much you're going to get, when you're going to get it, all those details. Then the second half of this recording, we're going to go over those fifth stimulus that will raise your benefits if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and survivor benefits. And then in the middle of this recording, we're going to go over the breaking news that happened just minutes ago, not once, but twice, about multiple stimulus checks. It's just jaw-dropping. And we'll also go over the big money available for you starting today, tens of thousands of dollars. How are you? This is Afternoons LA. How's the weather where you are? It's warming up here in Southern California. It's very sunny today, but I hope you are having a beautiful, wonderful day. Where you are, drop in the comments where you're watching from and how's the weather. This is LA, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel, covering everything that you need to know from Wall Street to Main Street. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe right now. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record for a reason. Next up, 1 million. Also like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Let's get right to the details on the monthly stimulus checks, starting with how many they are and how they work. When we look at the four stimulus checks and we're looking at the Senate versus House proposal, there is the House proposal written by Jalapal that provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate proposal provides a stimulus check from July to December. So we're going to go back to Jalapal's House proposal in just a second. Actually, not proposal, it's a bill. Then let's look at how Jalapal pays on a monthly basis. The House bill from Jalapal provides $1,000 a month after the first month. The Senate proposal, the amount monthly is unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Yes, wow. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000 an individual. $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400 an individual. If you're in the live chat just after 3 o'clock on the West Coast, 6 o'clock on the East Coast, get ready to vote who you think has the better proposal, but not just yet. When we look back at Jalapal's proposal, it is the pandemic plus 1 year. But by all accounts, the pandemic may be over for legislative purposes by the time the vote occurs no later than July. So with that calculation, the Jalapal House proposal may just be 12 months. which, according to Jalapal's bill, would be $13,000 over 12 months. The Senate proposal is 6 months, which could pay upwards of $12,000, about the same amount, just in half the amount of time. So which one do you like? Senate versus House? Drop in the comments right now which one you like. Let's go over the details. How much you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and who's going to get it. First, who gets it? You do. If you got the third stimulus check, you get the fourth stimulus check. If you're a single individual and make less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check. Husband and wife, married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just double it. Household 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. One viewer on Noontime said, a family of 6? No, only 4. And then if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. It is not income, so it's not taxable. We don't know anything about child support. It would not come in waves because it's a monthly check. They can't do it in waves. Remember, I'm not a legislator. I'm a reporter. I'm reporting their representations. And their representation is the vote by July 4th. I always say by, but at noontime, someone said, you said the vote is on July 4th. No one is voting on on the 4th of July by July 4th. And that means that the fourth stimulus check would land in the month of July for the month of July, August for the month of August. Away we go. This is a 2-bill, 2-month, 2-step process called reconciliation that is already underway and is nearly finished in the drafting stages. All they need to do is do the vote. And wow, really exciting, great news is coming now from not just the Jalapal letter, which I detailed on Noontime, and I'm going to go over in this recording, but now a letter from the people who actually would write the part of the bill for the multiple stimulus checks. I can't contain myself, but guess what? These breaking details are coming up in just a second. First, I'm going to give you a preview of the second half of this video, which is fifth stimulus. In the second half of this video, I go over the big money landing in your bank account for fifth stimulus, which is raising your benefits if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security and railroad benefits, and veterans benefits lifetime, and then adding a new benchmark. That benchmark is inflation, and today we're seeing more indication that the inflation rate may be very, very high in December. And that means your benefits lifetime could be changed incredibly high. I have all those details coming up in the second half of this recording. But get a pen and paper ready because this is a 30-minute jam-packed recording with a lot of news, a lot of details, even the twists about unemployment. And I have a lot of money to get for you, so get that pen and paper ready. Stay to the very end. Let's get to the big money, starting right now. $350 billion is allocated for you under third stimulus to be given to you under third stimulus. And it's now landing in your city, county, and states across the land last week, this week, and next week. So how much money you can get? About $5,000 to start for rent. Also money for utilities, rental utilities, homeowners help on their mortgage, and homeowners help on their utilities. Where do you get this? Get that pen and paper ready. Here we go. Your city hall, your city housing authority, your state hall, your state housing authority, and your county hall and your county housing authority. You ask for rent assistance because of COVID. You don't mention anything about stimulus. They don't understand that word. But you could mention Biden's Economic Recovery Act. Yes, that's about $5,000 for rent. Incredible, great news. And I don't go a single day without another viewer. Someone on Noontime LA today said they got rent, so congratulations to that viewer. I also have viewers every single day saying I got money for SNAP. So SNAP is the other big, exciting, big winner of the year for 2021, is viewers who have gotten SNAP. What is SNAP? It is money for food. If you get a stimulus check, you qualify generally for SNAP. How much is it? A family of 4 in Hawaii now gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Wow, that's a lot. Why is it a lot? And one viewer on Noontime said, when are those increases for? I haven't gone over that in a while. So there was a Trump executive order which raised it 15% for 6 months, and a Biden executive order which did for another 6 months. So there is a 15% increase on SNAP from January to December. Everyone gets it. How do you get SNAP? Reach out to the Department of Agriculture, or call DOA, or call 211 and ask to get connected to the Department of Agriculture. And look how great we're doing. We're 9 minutes into this video. I got you $5,000 for rent and $15,000 if you live in Hawaii for SNAP. We are just getting started. But time for some free money, some automatic money, some donut money. You don't have to do anything. And it starts with your state. I'm going to go over how much it is, then how you get it, and then when you get it. All right, how much it is? How much is it? It's about thousand. It's a couple thousands of dollars. I have one viewer who's getting $5,000 out of this. If you were overpaid unemployment by your state due to computer malfeasance, no fault of your own, the state has been ordered to pay that money to you. Here's the scenario that that the federal government is talking about. The federal government has stepped in and ordered states to return money back to you that they may have asked you to return to them. States were overpaying unemployment benefits to no fault of your own due to computer malfeasance and then asking you to return that money back to them. It's incredible, great news. And so those thousands of dollars are being returned back to you from the state. Next, how? In the bank account you have on file with your unemployment department. Finally, when? Every state is different, so reach out to your respective state. States have already started to pay it out, but they're all slightly different. Which brings me to the other big exciting news, and one viewer got $2,000 from this already. It is money coming back from the federal government. So let's go over how much, then how are you going to get it, and then when are you going to get it? The great news is that everyone is getting it in May. All right, first, how much is it? It's thousands of dollars. It's the taxes you paid to IRS or Treasury for your unemployment benefits for 2020. Here's an example. Let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment benefits and you paid a $5,000 tax bill to IRS for federal taxes. You're getting back $4,000. Incredible, great news. Second, how are you getting it? In the mail. It is only coming by direct deposit if that account was listed on your 2020 tax return. So in the mail, beige envelope, white envelope, inside a beige check that is written from Treasury or IRS, subject line, refund. Finally, when? IRS has identified 3 phases that all pay out by May. Phase 1 is single filers, non-complicated returns, no dependents, no refunds. You're being paid this week and started last week, so you should get the funds by the end of this week, early start of next week. Phase 2 is single filers with complex returns. Those started about today, continue into next week. And phase 3 are joint filers, husband and wife, people like that, married couple, and that is the last week of May. Incredible, great news. Incredible, great news. Now, one of the messages I have to make very clear to you is that I have a tough love moment for you, which is I want you to get this money for rent, utilities, and homeowners assistance now because it's not going to be around forever. And you're going to see in the breaking news coming up in a second that no Democrat is talking about doing rent assistance or eviction moratorium or mortgage forbearance anymore. They want them gone. And so this is the last hurrah. Once you get this money, it's your money. It's thousands of dollars. It's a big payout of third stimulus, so go get it. And understand that the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance are still not slated to come back under fourth stimulus. All right, I think it's time. I think I'm percolating at like a coffee pot right now, about to give you this breaking news. I just can't contain myself. Here you go. The House Ways and Means Committee, which is under Representative Richard Neal, as you know, from third stimulus early this year, is one of the most important subcommittees in the House because they write the major part of the legislation for stimulus packages. And while we know that multiple stimulus checks can be added by either the House or by the Senate during a vote-a-rama those final 2 days, guess what happened? 7 of the Democratic members on that House Ways and Means Committee, which is not particularly that many people, came out and wrote a letter to the President of the United States on U.S. congressional letterhead, signed it, and said, guess what? We want you to have your fourth stimulus package, but we also want multiple stimulus checks. Everyone wants multiple stimulus checks. House members and senators have told you they're putting it in. We're putting it in. We want multiple stimulus checks, and there will be multiple stimulus checks. OMG. Game over. Game over. I can't believe it. Also breaking just about a half an hour before I went on air was the president made a counter offer, which is sort of like that, to the Republicans, which was the following. Let me first tell you the significance of the counteroffer. The significance of the counteroffer is we're going to reconciliation. The significance of the counteroffer is it's really a joke. It's sort of into your face. I can't say the word on air, obviously, because it's YouTube, but you know the word I'm saying. The Republicans have said $500 billion for 4 weeks or 4 months, or it feels like 5 years at this point. They've never changed $1. So guess what the president did? He didn't change $1 either. Rather, he took out $600 billion and said, well, that $600 billion is already in some other legislation we're going to get passed anyway. So I'm going to put it somewhere else, but I'm not getting rid of it. I'll just push it somewhere else. So he made it look like it's a different bill. It's the same bill. It's just... And so the reaction to the news was, oh, well, the president's just shifting the money somewhere else. He's still doing it. He's just not putting it in there. So instead of 2.3, he's at 1.9, and the Republicans are at 0.5, at 500 million, a billion. So we're going to recon. We're going to recon. Now, here's what you need to know, is that print media and print media from the major print operatives, we're running the letter from the House Ways and Means Committee, talking about the multiple forced stimulus checks. And what they did in running the articles were they were citing back to everything I cover with you on this channel. That the senators said they're going to put it in there, that the House members have a bill from Jalapal about it, that they have written the president and said, yeah, we love your infrastructure, but we're putting multiple stimulus checks bills in there, that the senators and the House members, they write the bill, not the president. The president only proposes what he wants in there, and they're putting it in there. So incredible. I just can't contain myself on the excitement of this news. So now let's turn to Jalapal, and let's go over Jalapal and some of the questions I saw this morning on Noontime, Alec, because I was certainly in the live chat with you. So the Jalapal letter is just compounded with this letter is just incredible. So the Jalapal letter basically is not written to the president, it's written to Nancy and Chuck, and it basically says, call the vote. What are we doing here? Stop waiting around. And the concept is very simple. The Republicans haven't moved a penny in 5,000 years on the forced stimulus package. Just call the vote. What are we doing here? It's absolutely incredible. Now, I did see a series of questions from viewers on Noontime. Someone said, so June 4th for the vote? I think one viewer literally took Nancy Pelosi's statement and moved it up 30 days. That's not what's going on. So Jalapal says, don't wait any longer. But Jalapal didn't say take Nancy's July 4th deadline and move it 1 month earlier. Second, as I said before, one viewer interpreted Nancy Pelosi's before July 4th statement as literally July 4th. No, they're not voting on July 4th, before July 4th. Finally, one thing I haven't made very clear on this channel, which I think I sort of need to make clear right now, is that these legislators don't want to be around in July. They rather get you done in June, not because they care about you, to be sarcastic, not because they care that you would maybe get an extra stimulus check if it goes out in June, but because they want to go to their summer mansions in July and sip their martinis, and they don't want to be sitting around in D.C. in the hot summer, any day extra in July that they don't have to. So they rather be out of there by end of June if they don't have to. So trust me, every month you get the stimulus bill done sooner is an extra stimulus check, whether it's June 27th or June 30th or June 26th or June 15th. But they rather get out of town as much as you rather get your stimulus check out as fast. Now, what's very important is that you rarely have these legislators talk to press about bills over and over again. But that changed this week when these Democrats, both House and Senate, spoke to press and said, we're not waiting around any longer. It's time to call the vote. It's time to call the vote on the forced stimulus package. And that started with Senator Kristen Gillibrand, a senator, New York, said, when asked, should the Democrats wait around for the Republicans anymore and not do the vote? Absolutely not, because we may lose our coalition for human infrastructure. Then Ruben Gallego, Democrat out of Arizona, said, Republicans are not even being players. We Democrats should just move on without them. And then also a comment by Mark Pocan, Democrat out of Wisconsin, said, at what point do Republicans seriously come to the table? If Republicans don't come to the table, it doesn't mean Democrats don't serve the meal. And then Senator Majority Whip Dick Durbin says, Democrats ought to have a timely negotiation with the Republicans, but be prepared to finish with reconciliation. And then finally, Ro Khanna, the representative out of California, says, Democrats should move forward with the reconciliation bill. There you go. So what is the president going to do over the next few days? So the president has made very clear to his legislators that he will have lunches with the Republicans every single day up to Memorial Day, even if they are completely a waste of time. To which one viewer said, Memorial Day, that's September. No, that's Labor Day. Memorial Day's in May. And then when I said, lunch is every day, even though the answer is no, no deal. Thank you. See you again tomorrow for lunch. And one viewer said, why does he keep on doing that? Another viewer said, because Biden's very hungry. That was a great group on noontime. A lot of sadness in the room, but also some very good remarks. So the president will continue to have these meetings with the Republicans all the way up to Memorial Day weekend, but he's made that the line in the sand. There will be no more lunches, free lunches for the Republicans after Memorial weekend. Vote. There we go. Incredible, great news. And still come up in the second half of this recording, I got the big exciting news about this stimulus, more about forced stimulus, and more about a real surprise of what else is in that letter. Yes, there's a surprise of something else in this letter, and you've been asking about it, and it's in there. Oh boy. Meantime, if you need help, that's coming up in the second half of this recording after the commercial break. Meantime, if you need help with rent, utilities, homeowners assistance, internet, stay with me. Reach out to the volunteers. They're on the community page. Where's the community page? It's in the description of this video. Open the description of this video. Look for the emoji of a house. Then it sends you to the community page with a picture of some animals and some cats. Reach out to the volunteers that can help you get that money. And I'll be back in 60 seconds with that other exciting detail about forced stimulus and what's happening under fifth stimulus. We are far from over for the exciting great news. This is Afternoons LALATE. See you back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then Afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE as we see more about these multiple stimulus checks, a major letter written by House members that say they're putting the multiple stimulus checks in there on top of the 100 plus House and Senate members who over recent weeks say they're putting the multiple stimulus checks in there. Incredible, great news. I have more about these details coming up in the second half of this recording, and also the big news about this stimulus. This is LALATE. As Yaya just said in the live chat, hit that like button. Half of the people in the live chat have not hit the like button. Hit that like button. Let's do 1,000 likes. Consider becoming subscribe this moment. As a subscriber, you're going to hear the breaking details when things hit. You're not going to hear things 15 weeks later. And consider becoming a member, and you will get a copy of the incredible letter from those House members to the President of the United States about the multiple stimulus check just breaking this afternoon. What a big day it is. Let's cut to fifth stimulus right now. First, fifth stimulus is the latest stimulus package that heats up this fall, and that fifth stimulus starts with SSI and SSDI reform added in there. Let's go over the details of how it works. That fifth stimulus provides a lot of items, but the item that I want to talk with you about is that SSI and SSDI reform. It starts with increasing your benefit limits, then removing the asset cap, adding an inflationary benchmark, removing the income exclusion, and then removing the marriage penalty. Let's go over the details of what that is, starting right now in fifth stimulus. So fifth stimulus has an incredible provision to it that will be added in during the reconciliation process. Fifth stimulus goes by a two-bill, two-step, two-month process, just like fourth stimulus. And while fourth stimulus adds stimulus checks, fifth stimulus adds the SSI reform. It starts by raising your benefits across the board. If you are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veteran benefits, survivor benefits, your benefits will be lifted across the board. Next, they're going to add an inflationary benchmark. What is a benchmark? So every December, you get a letter talking about what your benefits will be next year. They will step up this amount. The benchmark will be inflation. Now, a week ago today, we heard from one leading economist out of the Wharton School of Business who said that, I see the inflationary rate in December being 20%. Well, that may sound a little bit high, but early this week, we heard from the head of the Federal Reserve out of Georgia that said he would not cite the inflationary rate for December because he doesn't want to get fired. So he cited his growth rate, and he shows the growth rate currently at 4%, and he's expecting a 10% in December. Wow, that is about 5% inflation. And in the last 2 days and today, we've had economists come out and say, you know what, it's going to be bigger inflation than what Federal Reserve is predicting. So by all account, what looks like we're tracking at the moment towards 4, 5, 6, 7% inflation this December. We're far from over for this discussion. It's going to continue day after day. But if that's true, this is what would happen. First, they'd raise up your benefits. Then in December, you get a letter saying, hi, inflation is perhaps, let's say, for example, 5%. They would raise your benefits up an additional 5%. It's incredible great news because your benefits would be raised up that amount a lifetime. Remember, benefits either step up or stay flat. They never step down. Incredible great news. Then they would, if next year benefits were, if inflation was 2%, you'd step up another 2%. Wow. Let's go over the other items under fifth stimulus for SSI reform. They'll remove the asset cap. Incredible great news. Dating back to a 1980s law which would go away. So if you want to keep more than $3,000 on hand, like some stimulus checks, you could. Next, they're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you cannot work and also stay on benefits. It's great. So if you want to work, you don't have to, but if you want to work $1,000, $2,000 a month and still stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty. One of the worst things ever. If you want to get married, you can't because you're going to lose your benefits. And if you are married, you lost your benefits. So this would bring people's benefits in line. If you're married, restore those benefits. And if you want to get married, now you could. And now you would. And not lose your benefits. Love would win. Incredible great news. So when would this stimulus heat up? It would heat up in a two-bill, two-step process starting about September, likely out the door by about October. You see the benefits hit your account in November approximately. And then the step up would happen, of course, in January, which brings us back to fourth stimulus. It's an incredible day because why is this so incredible, this news? If you go online, broadcast print media, and myself, which, get it right, are covering all these multiple stimulus check discussions from House and Senate letters, House or Senate bills, and House or Senate interviews. And now they say, when you look at how many times this has been mentioned, it's overwhelming. And what they're doing now in print media is they're citing all the prior occurrences, making it very clear how many times it has been told to the president it's going in. It's important to understand that legislators write the legislation, not the president. The president only proposes what he wants. The senators could add it during the reconciliation process, that two-step process, that two-day process, when they do amendments when the bill is in the Senate, or they could do it in the House when the House has the bill during the second step of the two-step process. But what's so critical to understand tonight is that the subcommittee that does stimulus checks is called the House Ways and Means Committee. And the House Ways and Means Committee, before its members had signed the Jalopal letter supporting the Jalopal bill that calls for multiple stimulus checks monthly for pandemic plus 1 year of $1,000 per month. And now 7 members of that not particularly very large Ways and Means Committee have now written the letter to the President of the United States saying, multiple stimulus checks, we're putting them in there. Incredible great news. And I promised you another surprise. The only thing that I perhaps did not predict correctly is that I said to you over the last 2 days that unemployment federal stimulus may be going away under forced stimulus. Oh, yeah. This letter, signed by those 7 people who oversee unemployment stimulus as part of the House Ways and Means Committee, also suggests that they're going to bring it back under fourth stimulus. Wow, that's your big surprise. Now let's go over which they could bring back in view of what happened earlier today. Earlier today, I told you that the Department of Labor has stepped in to determine whether the federal government has a legal right to require states to pay you FPUC, that $300 a week that goes on top of your unemployment benefits. And that Department of Labor is likely to say, no, the federal government cannot order the states to provide you FPUC. But guess what? The federal government can provide you its own stimulus. And its own stimulus is PEUC, which is providing you additional weeks of unemployment benefits. PUA, which it can be fashioned in 2 ways. One, which is what this talks about, which is just extending more weeks of something that's currently on law. Or the Ron Wyden approach, which is to create a whole new body of law that won't necessarily be called PUA, but will be PUA 2.0, and create it so it'll be a lifetime program. It won't be tied to COVID. And then finally, anything else at issue that is a federal paid benefit that is not a voluntary system that the states have to apply for. We are far from over in this discussion. It's getting very exciting. To recap, when we talk about rent stimulus, like eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance, there is no Democrat yet talking about bringing that back again. And when they passed third stimulus, they said they were going to lift the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance. They said they were going to get rid of it. And that's why they were giving you rental stimulus. But now with the House Ways and Means Committee, 7 members here saying we want to extend federal unemployment benefits where we're legally able to, this is a major new surprise on top of a day in which we have a letter saying multiple stimulus checks. We have a Jalapal letter saying call the vote, don't wait any longer. We have a president minutes ago saying, I will continue to have lunches with you, I'm hungry, every single day up to Memorial Day weekend, but he ain't moving $1 because he's going to the final door with the 2-step, 2-bill, 2-month process called reconciliation. And the legislators who are doing it are saying, call the vote, which could mean the vote could be in June, not in July, a potential extra check. Boy, it's a big afternoon, and you see why I went live, so make sure you subscribe. This is LALATE, where you're going to hear the breaking details. You're going to hear every microcosm that you need to know. You're going to hear it accurately and informed and across the board. This is a channel you want to be part of. 400,000 subscribers in 1 year for a reason, a YouTube record. Next up is 1 million. Coming up next is Evenings LALATE at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll have more breaking news about this shocking developments and the shocking developments for the White House today. It is far from over. I'm really excited for you. Also, like this video. As Yaya said, come on, everyone in the live chat should be liking this video. Don't forget to hit the like the video, share the videos on Reddit, Facebook, and Instagram. Tell people to come on over here. Evenings LALATE is up next, then followed by Evenings Crypto, and then Late Night Crypto. Also, consider becoming a member. Get access to all these documents and everything else that's in the 4th and 3rd stimulus package. And even simpler, for anyone that jumps in the live chat and says, in July, the only check coming for the 4th stimulus is for children. No, that's 3rd stimulus. If you're a member, you would know what's in the 3rd versus 4th. Stay informed, stay focused, always stay positive, always stay informed, and stay with LALATE for more.